Hi, my name's Penny. I'm your tutor. Welcome to Personal Asset Management. So in this video, this is for week 1, part 1, and we're going to start talking about the investment environment and asset classes. The learning objectives for this week's topics are to make sure that you understand what the term investment is and the factors that we use to differentiate the different types of investments. By the end of the week, hopefully you can describe the investment process and the types of investors, discuss the principal types of investments, be able to describe the steps in investing, what are some of the tax issues that are involved, and discuss investing over the life cycle. You should be able to describe some of the most common types of short-term investments and describe the role of investments in some of the finance-related careers. So what is an investment? So an investment, any asset into which funds can be placed with the expectation that it would generate positive income and or increase in value. So an investment is a choice. Slipping your cash under your mattress of your bed, that's not actually investing, making an investment choice. So we need an action. So any asset into which funds can be placed. So you're taking action, you're putting your cash, your funds into a particular asset type. And you're hoping that it's going to generate positive income or increase in value. Now, we're hoping for this. Is that guaranteed? No, definitely not. Think about shares, for example. So shares, you could buy your shares and then you can find that the next week the value of the share price has gone down. So we have this expectation, a hope that it's going to generate positive income and increase its value, but it's certainly not guaranteed. That would be good, wouldn't it? So we want an investment return. When we're investing, we have an opportunity cost. We're taking our cash and we're making a choice for one particular asset. We could have chosen another. We could have spent it, but we haven't. We've made a choice, but for that choice, we want to be rewarded. So we would like to have income from the investment, and we would like to have the value of the investment increase. So when the value of the investment increases, that's called a capital gain. Think about those shares we were just talking about. So some shares have dividends. That's when the company makes a profit, usually when they make a profit, and they decide to split the profit and share it amongst the owners of the business. As a shareholder, you're a part owner. So usually it's about every 6 months and they'll pay you some of that profit and you get a little deposit in your bank account. So that's one way to get a return, or you could have the increase in the value. So if you bought the share for one amount and then it's increased, that's a capital gain. So if we're lucky, we'd have both of those. You could have purchased shares which don't have dividends. So for those, we would just be looking at getting an increase in the value. So what can we invest in? Well, we were just talking about shares. So I'll write those down. What else could you invest in? What can you think of? Property is quite popular. Write down property. We could keep our cash in the bank. Perhaps a term deposit, something like that. What other ways are there to invest? Bitcoin. That's been in the news a bit lately, hasn't it? Anything else? let's go on. See what we can find out in our list. We're barely touching the surface here. Shares, property, cash, Bitcoin. There are a lot more. Let's have a look. Okay. So let's have a look. We've got cash in the top left corner. Then we've got a picture of the stock exchange with shares. Oh, commodities. So there we have wheat. We've got gold, coal, and then there's paintings, artwork. There's another place we can invest. Oh, there's Bitcoin. We've got financial derivatives, swaps, futures and forwards. We could invest in property. We've got some pictures of that, land. But we can also invest in infrastructure, for example, tunnels, something a bit more unusual. So here's a long list. Cash, term deposits, property, shares. So they were the really obvious things. You would have heard of those before. Bonds. The government sells bonds as a way of borrowing money. There's another option. Land and gold. A little bit more unusual are buying actual office buildings, so commercial property instead of residential. Artwork, currencies, so you could buy foreign currencies and use that as an investment. Toll roads, Bitcoins. I'm always scared about Bitcoins. Be interesting to know if any of you are trying investing in Bitcoins. Financial derivatives and commodities. So there's a large range of choices that we can invest in.